Hi. My first time showing myself on camera, and I'm a bit nervous. Feel kind of awkward. I don't know exactly what. I was thinking for ages, like, what should I make this video about? And then I just decided, yeah, fuck it. Start recording. I'll think about what I want it to be about while recording. Which, now that I think about it, is a dumb idea. Should I introduce myself, or should I talk about something like a TV show or a movie or a game or something? I'll just introduce myself first. Hi, my name is Joshua. I'm 17 years old. And I like Ninja Turtles. I like Friday the 13th. I like FNAF. I like a bunch of other shit, but it's not important. I have a mask collection. I have weapons collection. And spray paint collection. But that's only because I paint masks. If it wasn't for masks, I would have no interest in having spray paint. It's already been a minute 52 seconds. Feels like this has been going on for an eternity. Alright, now that I introduced myself, mm, mm, I don't know. Think about something, what I want to do. Let's talk about Ninja Turtles, I guess. I'm kind of nervous. First time showing myself on camera. Alright, talk about Turtles. Let's talk about the beginning to today. Talk about the many Turtles variants out there. The ones that I know of, at least. There's a shit ton of them. Pardon my language. There's a shit ton of Turtles universes out there, as seen in Turtles Forever. They showed a lot of them in Turtles Forever in that one little clip where it's the Shredder showing the Turtles all the different variances. That was only some of them. Only some of them. There's a shit ton out there. But let's start at the beginning. In 1984, when their very first Turtles comic came out, that was the original core Turtles universe. Prime Turtles, as they call them. Now, some people have a theory that that first comic is its own universe, and all the other comics after it are in a different universe. You can believe it if you want, but I'm not too sure. We know some of the original comics, like issue number 16 and issue number 31, are their own universes. But I'm not too sure about the original. But so, anyways, speaking of next issue, stuttering over my words here. Speaking of the next universe, so issue 16 of the comics was written not by Eastman and Laird, but by a different guy. So Eastman declared it non-canon and it's its own universe. And we actually see it in Turtles Forever. That one where the turtle has a slingshot? Yeah. And then the next Turtles universe, we also see it in Turtles Forever. It's the one where the turtles look more realistic. They have beaks and stuff, and for some reason they don't wear masks and they all have the same weapon, one katana. That's confusing. Yeah, whatever. Is there? If there's I feel like there's more, but I don't. Like I said, I don't know all of them. Like there's still some universes that I still have no clue about. Like that one we see in Turtles Forever, where they're all like they look like little kids and they all have bow staffs. I still have no clue what that universe is. I have no clue. I want to know, but I don't know. We're just going to go over the ones that I know of. So the next one is the toy line. And some people think the toy line doesn't count as its own universe. I count it. If you don't, that's fine. But I count it as its own universe. Because, well, actually, technically a toy line can be several universes because each kid who buys those toys and makes up their own stories with them, they're making their own universe right there. And there's, never mind, we won't count the toys then. We're moving on. The 87 show, the show that got Ninja Turtles in mainstream, that started the turtle craze from 1987 to 1993. That show had 5 episodes originally. They were made in Japan, so technically they're considered anime. It was only going to be 5, but since they got popular enough, they were like, let's make more. So season 2 had 13 episodes, season 3 had 47, and then each season the episodes kept, going random. Season 4 had 39. Season 5, I don't remember. I used to know all this stuff, but over the years I kind of forgot. I need to look up how many episodes are in season 5. I think season 6. Oh, yeah, season 16. I think season 6 has 16. I think. Or is it 27? I think season 7 has 14. And then the last 3 seasons, 8, 9, and 10, have 8 episodes. But no, okay, so next universe would be, would it be the Adventure Comics by Archie, or would it be the Turtles video game? I'm just going to say it's a video game. Here's where things get confusing, because with different releases of stuff, it's complicated. So let's just talk about the regular game that was released here in America first. So that one, wait a minute. Okay, so the very first game was like the show and the comics mixed together. And then the sequels, 2, 3, 4, Hyperstone Heist, which is technically 5, and then Reshelled, which you could say is just Turtles 4 remade, but I count it as Turtles 6. So the series in a whole mixes the original movies, which we'll get to them later, the show, and the comics. But when the first game came out, the movies weren't out yet, so it just mixed the show and the comics. So that universe is established. Now let's get to the confusing stuff. The game in Japan was released by a completely different name and had some different stuff in it. One example, April is Splinter's daughter in that version of the game. I count that means it's its own separate universe. And also another thing, back on the show, in Europe it's called Hero Turtles because ninja was too violent of a word. And also in Europe, Michelangelo's nunchucks were taken out and replaced with a grappling hook. So that's its own universe right there. See, with different countries and all this other stuff, it just makes the whole span of all the Turtles universes much bigger. Much bigger. And we're not even going to count the fan-made stuff online. I guess we could, but we'd be here all day. There's so much stuff. Oh, you want to go out, Deli Boy? Come on out. Come on. There you go. It's my dog. Yeah. Yeah, my bed's a mess, so what? So anyway. Then the 1990s movie. Hold on 1 second. I'm coming. Wow. I'm down now. Alright. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so then the 90s movie. It was the first live action Turtles, that's what it was. And then they later made a comic of it. So that, technically, yeah, that's its own universe too. Damn, these so many different. Do we count the Japanese version of the show as its own universe too? Yeah, sure, why not? That's its own universe, and every different version of the movie, the first movie, like the American version, the Japanese version, European version. Yeah, there. Let's just count all that. Yeah, it's see what I mean by it gets confusing and there's so many. Yes. So then the next version. Actually, no, I don't think there was any new versions of them for a while. Oh, the other video game incarnations, because the main series, Turtles 1, 2, the arcade game, 3, Manhattan Project, 4, Turtles in Time, 5, Hyperstone Heist, and, well, Reshelled came out many years later, but we're going to count it anyway. Turtles 6, Turtles in Time Reshelled. That was one Turtles series, but there was other video games with Turtles in it too, and should we just count them as part of the same universe as that one series? Nah, we'll count them as different. So there was other Turtles games. Like there was one on what was the name of it? Some computer system from the 90s. And then there was some on the Genesis, and others on the Nintendo, like that fighting tournament game. What else? The Game Boy games. I actually used to have one of them back when I used to have a Game Boy. Yeah, I used to have a lot of old stuff, but we had to sell it because we needed money. Money is kind of tight around here. So yeah, I used to have one of them, and in that version of the Turtles, they all wear black because Game Boy. There was no color. That's its own universe. So some Turtles universes they all wear red. Some they have the individual colors: blue, purple, red, and orange. Some of them blue, purple, red, and yellow, and then some of them no masks at all. And the Game Boy game, they all wear black. Perfect. So much different possibilities with different universes. That's complicated. So, oh yeah, that's right. I completely skipped. I mentioned them earlier, but I forgot to talk about them. Okay, so then the Archie comics, which were based off the show, and the first few issues were just adaptations of the episodes. But then after that, they split off and made their own stories. The Archie comics is like the '87 show, if more serious. Like, so here's Turtles for you. Leonardo's the leader, Donatello's the brains, Raphael's the hothead anger problem guy, and Michelangelo's the silly fun-loving one. And in most incarnations, there's a thing where Leonardo and Raph would fight. But that wasn't there in the '87 show, because Raphael in the '87 show was actually more like a Michelangelo rather than a Raphael. But in the Adventure comics, they actually do kind of fight, and Raphael kind of goes off on his own. He's kind of the loner. He does fight with Leo. So it's like the '87 show, if the '87 show was like every other version of the Turtles. Sorry about yawning. I guess I don't. I guess I just don't get enough sleep. But anyway, that's the Archie Turtles for you, or Adventure Turtles, whatever you want to call them. Oh, that's also where Slash first appeared, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he appeared in the show first or comics, but I'm pretty sure he appeared in the comics first. And in the comics, he started out as a bad guy, and then later turned into a good guy. He became the fifth turtle. So he's the first fifth turtle. And I could talk about fifth turtles for a while, but he's technically the first fifth turtle. But we're not talking about it. We're just talking about the different versions. So next version. So after the three movies, and then the show ended, the next was a 2-episode Japanese anime turtle show. Does it really count as a show if it's only got 2 episodes? Wouldn't you count that as like a weird 2-part special or something? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so there we also see this in Turtles Forever, confirming that it's not just the '87 Turtles or something. It's its own universe where the turtles have like Japanese powers. They like turn into super turtles, and then they have a thing where they all merge into one, sort of like Voltron or the Power Rangers. Why? Because Japan. That's why. All right. Then the next incarnation, which some people don't like it. I liked it at first, but as I got older, and I kind of see why people don't like it. Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. Where do I begin? What, I'm not here to talk about everything individually, but even though I kind of have been doing that a little bit, I'm just here to mention them. So, you know what, screw it. I'll go over it real quick why Next Mutation is kind of bad. One, they make up all these new characters that are unnecessary. They don't need to make these. Dr. Queeze, you don't need him. Just Dr. Stockman. Dragon Lord, you could have just kept Shredder as the main villain. There's no need for Dragon Lord. Bone Steel, Rat King. But even though Bone Steel, I kind of like him. Mm, yeah. And then, I know you're all waiting for it. Listen, I know everyone hates her, but it's not her fault. It was bad writing. The makers of Power Rangers should not ever write turtles. Venus de Milo, aka Mei Pei Chin, aka Shinobi, the girl Ninja Turtle. Everyone hates her. I'm I don't hate her. I just think she was written badly. If if in the hands of a person who can actually write good, she could actually be good. But Peter Laird hates the character, and as long as he's alive, I don't think she's ever going to come back in anything. That's unfortunate. Oh, now that that's all out the way, next incarnation, the Volume 3 Turtles, because Volume 1 of the comics and Volume 2 of the comics were made by Mirage. And then Volume 3 was made by a different company, and they took the series in a direction that fans didn't like too much, so Eastman and Laird declared Volume 3 as non-canon. It's its own universe. In Volume 3, Raphael becomes the Shredder, Donatello becomes a cyborg, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Volume 3 is where we find out April is just a living drawing of Kirby, from Kirby. I could be mistaken though, but I'm pretty sure that's where that was established. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So then, Volume 4, wait, we haven't gotten to Volume 4 yet. Okay, so Volume 3 ended in 1999, and then there was no Turtle comics from Mirage or Image or anyone for a whole year. There was nothing Turtles related in the year 2000. The year 2000. The year without Turtles. Dark times. So then in 2001, they were going to make a CG show, and there's a pilot going around online of it. That show never got made, but I count it as an incarnation. It counts. It exists. And looking at it, I'm kind of glad that CG show didn't get made. The animation wasn't that good. The 2012 show is much better. But anyway, then the 2003 show. I love that show. Actually, who doesn't love that show? The show's awesome. And then the spin-off universes of that show, the 2003 Turtles video games, and I'm pretty sure they made comics for the 2003 show. So like the original show, there was a show, the games made of the show, and then the comics made of the show, and the toys, of course. So, and then the 2003 show, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I haven't seen any 2003 comics, but 2012 has it. Here, let me show you. Yeah, I'll be looking forever. Here, I'll just show you one. 2012 has its own comics. So I'm pretty sure 2003 had some too. But I just skipped ahead a little bit. My bad. Didn't mean to skip ahead. So, and then other video games came out, but like I said, if we try to find every Turtles video game and count them as their own universe, be here for a while, because not only were there games based on a 2003 show, There was also other games that were just turtles, like Arcade Smash Up and a few other games too. But we'll get to that later. So then, so the 2003 show, the first 3 seasons were pretty good. Season 4 was too dark. Season 5 was too weird. Season 6 was boring, and Season 7 was a letdown. Alright, now that that's over. Next is the 2007 CG movie, which is kind of mostly forgotten nowadays, unfortunately. It's been 10 years. Literally, that movie came out 10 years ago, and it's kind of been forgotten. It was a big thing when it came out, but kind of gets looked over. There's not really much to that universe. There's only one movie, and they were going to make sequels, but it never happened. That's a bit unfortunate. And then, let's see, what next? Then Turtles Forever. Now, I know what you're thinking. What? That's not a Turtle universe. That's just a... No. Those Turtles are not the 1987 Turtles. They are not the 87 Turtles. They are a parody of the 87 Turtles. Peter Laird hates the 87 show so much that he hates the 87 show so much he made them look like special individuals. I can't say the R word because I get in trouble for that. It's kind of a word if you say it, you kind of... You're not supposed to say that word. Retarded! Oh, I forgot. Pretend you didn't hear that. I was supposed to cough and then say it, but I forgot. Fuck it. Moving on. So, we'll call them the Mock Turtles for now. So, the 2003 Turtles and the Mock Turtles meet up, get kidnapped by the Utrom Shredder, and Utrom Shredder shows them a bunch of Turtles universes. Most of which I have mentioned already, but some that I still don't know about. I found out that one where they're riding a giant sea turtle, I found out that's the Archie Turtles. Still don't know what that one where they're all kids and have bow staffs. I still don't know that one. There's the one where they all look like block people, sort of like Minecraft, but slightly different. Like papercraft bigger things. Oh, the Super Turtles. I forgot about the Super Turtles. I keep forgetting. Inside certain shows and movies, there's little mini universes. I keep forgetting about that. So, Super Turtles was in season 3 of the show, along with Same as It Never Was. That's one of the darkest universes. I'm not going to say it's darker than the original universe, but it's pretty dark. All the turtles die. There's no blood, but they die. That must have been pretty traumatizing for kids to see. But anyway, Super Turtles and Same as It Never Was. I skipped over those because those are just episodes from the 2003 show. They're not their own thing. Which kind of made me almost forget about them. Good thing I remembered them because we see those in Turtles Forever. So, next is the IDW comics. Because in 2010, Mirage Studios went out of business, and the original Turtles series, you know, Prime Turtles, the original Turtles that started it all, yeah, they're over now. It's all said and done. They're done. All done. Oh well, at least we see them come back in Turtles Forever and the 2012 show. But anyway, next was the IDW Turtles, which are those? Is that technically one universe, or is it several? Because here, let me get 2 IDW comics right now. I have some of them here. Okay, this one. Where's that one? This one. See this one. See these two? This specifically, look at Donatello in both of these. They do not look the same. So are these two different universes? But they're both made by IDW. I have no clue. Let's just assume the. Okay, so there's the one IDW universe. The first one, the very first comic they did. There, we'll consider that, and we'll talk about other stuff later. I don't know. Okay, so then next is Out of the Shadows. Not that terrible movie. Not that terrible movie. The game, which some people say is also pretty terrible. Excuse me. Out of the Shadows, that video game, was like a mixture of everything. Well, at least they tried to mix everything together. It had the look of the 2012 show, which wasn't out yet, or what I think was it. I have to look it up because my memory's kind of fuzzy, but I don't think Out of the Shadows came out when 2012 came out. I think it came out before 2012 came out. But whatever, they take the look from 2012 with the bandages on the fingers and hands and feet. They take that, but they switch the turtles back to 2 toes instead of 3 toes. And they also give them nostrils, and some people say the Out of the Shadows turtles are ugly. I think they look okay. I like the idea of turtles with nostrils. I used to always draw the turtles with nostrils, even though most incarnations don't have them with nostrils. I just like turtles with nostrils. I don't know why. But I guess in Out of the Shadows, the nostrils weren't really done right. And then the 2012 show. Awesome. This is the show. It was. I have a poster back there. That's 2012 is what got me into turtles in the first place. So thank you, 2012. Sorry you're ending after season 5. We're losing you too soon, 2012. We're losing them too soon. It's a good show. It was a good show. So 2012 came out, and then all its spin-off universes came out, like the comic I just showed you, and one of the video I used to have one of the video games on my 3DS, but I don't even know if I have those anymore. I think they might have got lost in the pawn shop. But so all its spin-off universes, etc., etc. And then came the shitty 2014 movie. I don't just hate that movie. I don't like that universe. Yeah, I went there. I went there. Had 2 movies, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a third. And I say, good. We don't need no more. That universe of Turtles is not. They don't have Hamato Yoshi. And Splinter and Shredder, they didn't know each other beforehand. They just. So many things wrong with it. And don't get me started on the Turtles' looks. Enough has been said by literally everyone else. They're ugly. Long and short of it, they're ugly. And they're too big. Too big. They're supposed to be ninjas, but they're giant-ass turtles. How can they stay hid if they're that big? Whatever. Well, yeah, that was the thing. Oh, and then here's where things. So Nickelodeon started making these TMNT shorts called Summer Shorts, and I don't even know. I don't even know if I've seen all of them, but there's a few, and they're all okay. There's TMNT Team Up, which is like a parody of the '87 show. Then there's that one short where they're traveling through time. It was based off the 2012 show, and they at the end they meet the '87 turtles. Then there's that one short where it's Cyborg, or not Cyborg, was it Cyborg? Mecha Turtles, Teenage Mecha Ninja Turtles, where it's in the future, and the turtles are robots with people inside controlling them, and Michelangelo is their master. And then there's that universe, what was it, Pizza Friday or Pizza something, where the turtles disguise themselves as humans so they can get pizza at April's school. If there's any more that I'm not remembering, tell me, because there's so many. And now the newest incarnation, which hasn't come out yet. We have no clue what they look like, but we do get a small hint of what it's about. You know, the rise of the TMNT, the show that's replacing this show. So in this show, apparently the turtles are slowly learning about their new superpowers or something. Reminds me of season 5 of the 2003 show. That's what it reminds me of. The plot summary of it. So here's a random bit of something. So the '87 show had the 3 live action movies. 2003 show had the 2007 movie. Then the Nickelodeon show had the Bay movies. Is this new show that's coming out going to get a new movie too to go along with it, or is it because it came out kind of close to this show back here? If they do make another Turtles movie, it will be kind of too close to the Bay movies. People are just going to assume it's a sequel to one of those when actually it won't be. Which, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. That's just kind of the thing that every show, except for Next Mutation and the anime show, it's like every show has its own movie to go with it, at least one. But not sure if this new show will get one because it's kind of coming out too soon, too close to this show and its movies. Whatever. We'll see. I've been talking for a while now. Well, I was gonna stop it at 30 minutes, but I had so much to say that it's gonna be a bit uneven. Maybe like 33 minutes, 32 minutes. See, any last thing I could say about turtles? I could talk about universes that, nah. Okay, I'll talk. So there was gonna be a 4th live-action movie, The Next Mutation, which is loose. That awful show is loosely based off of loosely. Emphasis on loosely. And that was just going to be part of the original live action series' universe, but since it never got made, you can consider it its own universe, I guess. It's where they were going to add Kirby. It's where the turtles would get superpowers. It's where April would turn evil, and it's where the Foot would start using guns, which that was later used in the Bay movies. Alright, that's enough turtle talk. See you guys next time.